Hi there, this is Mr. Mendoza. Just to give you a little bit of a context, and I always get, I get asked this question, but I've never told the whole class. But some people have asked, Mr. Mendoza, your voice changes depending on the lesson. I said yes, and also depends on when my kids are sleeping. So it's currently around 10 o'clock ish, and my kids are sleeping. My wife is sleeping. So if I'm not too loud, that's because of that. I don't have a soundproof room in the house. So I'm doing my best to be loud, but not disruptive to the people that are sleeping. Anyways, back to your math lesson for today. It is I can represent fractions as a whole. And for parents and for you, there's a sum it up page. Yay! So if you click on this, it'll give you a little bit of idea of what the whole lesson is all about. And again, fractions of a whole is when things are as a whole together. So they're never apart. And when you take that whole and you split it equally, and that was a big deal, okay? Um, that was a big deal when we were looking at parts, equal parts. Some of you, when you were doing it, let's see if I can go back to here, parts of a whole, fraction equal parts. So one of the question was this one. No, not that one. Right over here. Okay. It's very important right here that when you are looking at the 1/8, right? So these are all wholes. Parts of a whole will only dictate, that means it's only correct if it has the same area or same equal part. So this is equal, that is not equal. See how that part right there is totally skinny compared to this thick one over here. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're looking at fractions of a whole. They have to be one thing, right, as a whole, one picture, but they have to be split equally and evenly, okay, for it to be fractions of a whole. So you can sum it up there. Here is a little page for you to take a look at. And there's some vocabulary down here. And there is a fraction video about Legos. I'm a big fan of Legos. So if you click on that, you'll get a chance to watch a fraction video about Legos. And it's very, very important because it's actually what it is, a fraction of a whole. So if something is split evenly, it becomes something else. And we use Legos a lot, especially in math. And this is one way to look at it. Complete the fractions as a whole Google Forms. If you click on this, it will take you to this. And it is a 5-point quiz. So in other words, I want to get an idea of how well you do. So there are 5 questions that have points on them. 2 of them are not. So take a look at these, pick the right one, read them very carefully. I'm very interested in what you say with regards to this question over here. Estimate the fraction of the rectangle below that is colored, which means the green one. Explain your estimate. So what do you think it is, the fraction, and tell me why. So roughly do you think the fraction is? So that's a really good one, a really good thinking question. And here, which fraction pair below cannot be the two parts that make up the same whole? So in other words, if I put 3/5 and 2/5 together, would I make a whole? If the answer is yes, that's not the one that you want to click. It's the one that cannot be the two parts that make up a whole. Okay? So if it makes a whole when you take these two parts together, that is not the one to click. It's the one that is not or cannot be the two parts. They don't, when you add them together, the two parts don't make up a whole. And I think that is it for today. And if you want some extra practice for sure, you can do fraction bars and fraction circles on Toy Theater. Again, if you're doing low tech stuff, there is a fraction whole as a whole activity sheet. You're going to do questions 1 to 5, and definitely just finish it and scan it to me or share it with me. Thank you very, very much. And again,